So, another one of his, in my opinion, rather vague responses to an atheist, Professor Anton once again brought up the idea of God as the ground of being, and this is a notion that I've heard a lot, and that's how I used to describe God as well. Um, I've kind of gotten away from that, partly after reading Whitehead and seeing God as not just the ground of being, but actually a being. I actually kind of think that supreme being may actually be the better description than ground of being of God as the ultimate actual entity. Um, and along with that shift, I've also come to start sort of see reality, to think there may not be a ground of being. I think reality might ultimately be groundless in the sense, or if there is a ground of being, you might say it's sort of the relation between all other things. Um, that there is no thing in itself. Everything exists by virtue of its relation to other things. And so, in this sort of entangled web of relations constituting reality, where is the ground of being there? Is I think maybe there is no foundation to it. It's all just things existing by virtue of the relation to everything else, and I would include God in that. And I think God, and that's what I think is interesting about Whiteheadian theology is it says that God depends on the world just as the world depends on God. Um, and I think that kind of shifts our perspective a little bit. And I think and so I think that and so I think that trying to argue with atheists by appealing to a ground of being might ultimately be a losing strategy. Um, and I guess that's sort of the source of my response is that I always it's weird as a theist I always felt more irked by a bad argument for God than by a good argument against God, and so I thought I'd want to at least get some clarification on what is meant by the ground of being. I mean, if you're talking about some foundation on which reality exists, then I'm not sure that such a foundation exists. I think reality may ultimately be without foundation. That it's all, um, there is no one thing that supports all other things. Everything exists by virtue of this web of relations. So, I guess my thoughts for now. Peace.